Tuesday edition of First Pitch here on WagerTalk TV. Rays, Tigers, St. Louis, Colorado, Orioles, Yankees, Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, Cubs. Do we fade the clinchers? And then we got best bets coming up in Mets, Bravos, D-backs, and the Giants. Plenty of games on a terrific slate, getting you the winners. That's what we're aiming to do here. And joining me, the Morning Wager crew. Final time we get to have you guys on the show this year as we're winding down the regular season. So you guys better come proper. Bryan, no need to flex. We heard your squatting stories. I won't belabor the folks because they're here for actionable info, not hearing that bars just don't work out for you. Those bars do, but squatting racks do not. We'll circle back to that, Bryan, because first things first, you want to talk the game that goes in 2 hours? This one goes at 1 o'clock. So any of our people on the rewatch are saying thanks for starting with the game that's already on while I'm watching your show. But there is a fast forward button that we know well with you, Bry. Rays and Tigers. I'm kidding, buddy. You better have a winner for us in this one, though, since you're starting us off. Scooble going to be on the mound. How are we betting this one, man?
Well, Dan, I'm trying to drive viewership to the live portion of the program here is what I'm doing. It always pays to listen to live. And all right, let's talk about this game. There is a lot of enthusiasm right now surrounding the Tigers, justifiably so. Incredibly, they are odds-on favorite to make the playoffs in the American League. But a lot of that has to do with the fact two of their division rivals, the Royals and Twins, are just completely falling apart at the seams down the stretch. And I'm here to throw a little cold water on the Tigers parade. I like the Rays plus 1.5 here, Dan. First off, this is going to be a low-scoring game, okay? You got Pepio and Scooble starting. This total, right before we started recording, it dropped to 6.5. I know Scooble's been great. Most of the viewers do as well. He's unbeaten over his last 8 starts. No more than 3 runs allowed in any of those 8. Probably going to win the AL Cy Young. But how about Pepio? Last time out, just 1 run on 2 hits. Went 6 innings. Career-high 12 strikeouts. 12 consecutive starts where Pepio has allowed 3 earned runs or fewer. And the Rays, somehow mathematically still alive themselves for a playoff spot, despite minus 55 year-to-date run differential. They come in playing well also. They've won 4 straight, 7 of their last 10, swept Toronto over the weekend. And as good as things have been, okay, in terms of wins and losses for this Tigers team, guys, the wins have not come easy. Last 7 wins have all been by 2 runs or less. 2 of them required extra innings. Only twice in those last 7 wins have the Tigers won by multiple runs when the game finishes in 9 innings. I just think of the 3 potential outcomes. Rays win, Tigers win by exactly 1 run, or Tigers win by multiple runs. The Tigers' multi-run victory, least likely. And wouldn't you know who has played the most 1-run games in all of baseball this season? That would be the Tigers with 53. Daytime start, Dan, probably lessens the home field advantage. I'd go to the game if I lived in Detroit, but the attendance might be a little lower than they want. Give me the Rays plus 1.5.
Taking the run line there out the gate. And if you are watching on the rewatch and that game's going on live, either give Bryan a shout out for the great play or just absolutely rip him in the comments. But either way, make sure you're commenting below while you're hanging out with us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that little bell. It'll get you notified when we're going live, when we're dropping single game videos. If you're joining us on social, that follow button goes a long way. Zinno, we were talking before the show. You want to take a look at this Cardinals and Rockies game. Let Feltner cook, baby. It took 4 months for him to finally win a game, but since he's done that, 2 wins in his last 3 starts. Is that the way we're going to look here again? Ride the hot hand with the pitcher who seems like maybe he finally found it out now that it doesn't matter even a little bit. Big time matchup with major playoff implications in this one. But who cares? We can cash a ticket, Zinno. What do you think is the right side here?
Well, look, I mean, when you get a chance to back Ryan Feltner, it first, look, in general, backing the Rockies is kind of like an exposed nipple ring. You know it was painful, but there are just certain ways it can look good for you. So this is what we're going to do here. We're going to take Ryan Feltner, who in 4 of his last 5 starts has allowed 2 runs or less. And in fact, the Rockies have won 5 consecutive games that Feltner has pitched. And so he has actually started to turn the corner here. The opposing pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals is a young rookie named Mike McGreevy. 24 years old. Now, he's made 2 starts since being called up, right, this season, or 2 starts this season, one back in July, one since the call-ups. He looks really good. He's gone 10 innings, given up just 7 hits and 1 run. Both of those were in St. Louis. Welcome to Coors Field, Rook. Welcome to the place where balls fly out of here. Feltner gets nearly 5 runs of support per start. The Rockies hit much better when they're at home. This is a great spot here for Colorado and Ryan Feltner when you look at the way this whole thing lays out. So I like the Rockies here, plus the 1.5. Best bet you can take there. I think they kind of have a great chance to win the game outright. The scary part is I'd contemplated looking at the first 5 because the Rockies bullpen is bad. But, again, this is a spot where I'll just take the 1.5 at home, hold my nose and pull, and look away from that awful, painful nipple ring.
Yeah, you got to look away because that is definitely painful for sure. That's the breakdown from our man, Mark Zinno. Check him out, wt.buzz/MZ. Right out the gate, he got us, Bryan. Right out the gate. Yes, he got us there, man. All right, so with the 2 games you guys started off with, we have to segue now into the O's and Yankees because this actually does have some gravitas as the Yankees are looking to close out this AL East title. This series could do it all. It's Kremer and it's Schmidt. I'd love to get both of your guys' takes, but Bryan, I'll start with you in this one. Anything stand out to you, or because tensions are so high, could this potentially see a game where maybe you get a little bit more, defense? Do we got a lower scoring game here, or is it all side for you as you look this one?
Well, first off, I can't wait to hear Zinno's breakdown of this because he's going to have to choose between a Yankees team, which he's ripped all year. If you listen to Zinno, you would think that the Yankees were like 3 games ahead of the White Sox in the standings. And then the Orioles have Dean Kremer starting, who's like his least favorite starter, I think, in all of baseball. Dan, you have done it again. We joked before the start of the show. I come into first pitch every week with about 10 to 12 games circled. I said, I am ready to carve up this card. And you always throw me first game, a game that I really don't have a good read on. I guess I kind of lean the Yankees, but the price isn't great.
You're done.
So that's all I got to say.
You're cut off. I can't believe I picked the one. And you literally said the first game that comes off the board that I didn't write down, I'm not going to have an opinion. That's why we have Mark Zinno here, because he does have an opinion, I'm sure,
well, he's got
on his or the O's taking on his Yankees. Yes, he has an opinion on everything, Zinno.
That is true. Opinions are much like belly buttons. Everybody has one. Also another anatomy part.
Oh, well done. Thank you for censoring yourself. I appreciate that.
Listen, it's well documented what I think of Dean Kremer. And there's one word I use to describe Dean Kremer. He's a hump. That's it, because he stinks. However, he actually has been pretty good against the Yankees this year, despite his overall 4.19 ERA and his whip that's 1.25. Clark Schmidt making his 4th start off the IL. First 3 have been pretty good, all things considered. And Clark Schmidt faced the Orioles way back in the end of April, a game that the Yankees lost, but Schmidt was really good. Went 5 2/3, gave up just 1 run. Look, the Yankees have a chance to clinch this thing and put a dagger in the hearts of the Orioles, and also a dagger in the heart of my Orioles win total over bet for the year. And I think the Yankees get it done. I'll make this interesting point, and this will aggravate Brian Power. The Orioles are 6-4 so far against the Yankees this year. All 4 of the Yankees' wins have come by at least 2 runs. So I think it's worth a look. Lay the 1.5 with the Yankees.
But Brian Power would tell you shouldn't lay 1.5 with the home team because they get 1 less at bat. That's what you should do.
So I would still look at the Yankees on the run line here. Lay the 1.5 because 1 of 2 things happen. I think the Yankees blow them out, and Schmidt is great, and they get to Kremer early. Or guess what? Dean Kremer all of a sudden is Dizzy Dean and strikes out the entire Yankees lineup, and Schmidt gets rocked, and the Yankees lose outright. So that's kind of the way I see the game unfolding. I take the Yankees on the run line.
If you're going to play it, don't be afraid of losing a potential at bat. Bryan, if you're a little stuffy, you have a little cold, you might sound like that. If you have a cold, you might sound like that. To be fair,
the Orioles xFIP and their EPA per play is very high.
They don't have an EPA per play. It's a baseball team.
Sorry.
So their BABIP and their xFIP and sometimes their exit velocity is higher than normal in smaller ballparks like Yankee Stadium.
Why are you bouncing?
I close my eyes. I think I have 2. Well, I was listening along, I was listening along for you.
Oh, I was talking to Zinno. I didn't know
if
you
I
were
close my eyes, I
bouncing
think I
along,
got 2. I got 2 Brian Powers on the show here.
BP
Brian,
squared.
this game goes. Go ahead, Zinno. Go ahead.
I said BP squared. There's 2 of us.
Yes, BP squared, indeed.
People could only be so
BP, this
lucky.
one goes. This one goes at 10-10. So please tell me, with a late game, you've at least had enough time to look at the Padres and the Dodgers, right? This isn't one of the 15 games that you do not have an opinion on, because this is a hell of a series. Really probably going to decide what you end up seeing in the NL West. And it features a guy, I know we all get caught up on that explosive game by Ohtani, but how about the week that the guy has had? 7 games, 7 stolen bases, 17 ribbies, a 1.668 OPS. The man isn't human right now, is Ohtani. So does that continue here? Is there no way that the Padres can slow down what seems to be an absolute freight train, which is all things buzzing for this Dodgers team? Anything jump out to you? Because the price really, either way, pretty enticing. You can make a case either way here.
Dan, you've gone from asking me about the one game that I had no opinion on to taking my notes on this game, reading off Ohtani's stat line. Yeah, it just truly is incredible. Great game, great week, great season. 6 home runs over those last 7 games, 11 runs scored. You mentioned the RBIs, how many steals, and the OPS. I talked about this game on the Power 5 this morning. I like the Dodgers in the first 5. Look, you talked about what a critical series it is. If the Dodgers win the series, they win the NL West pennant. San Diego is already assured of winning the season series with the Dodgers. They've done quite well head-to-head, but they've yet to face Landon Knack, who is starting tonight for LA. Knack has allowed 2 runs or less in 10 of his 13 starts this season. That includes 5 shutout innings last time out. Yes, the Padres, I think they're very live to win the National League. Come October, I think they're live to win the World Series. They've won 40 of their last 56 games. But Dan, you talked about price. How often can you bet the Dodgers at home at this kind of price? And the first 5, it's only around minus 125, and you have the insurance of a push in case if things are knotted up in a tie after 5 innings. Too good to pass up for me. I'll back the Dodgers in the first 5 here, and oh yeah, we have that Ohtani guy on our side as well.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have a man who literally looks like he is, everyone else is in Little League, and he is in a league of his own. That is for sure. That's the way that Bry Power is going in that one. Hop below in the comments and let us know how you're looking to bet the late night special there. Can't even call it the Drew Martin, D-Gen special, because that's a hell of a game going there. So, Zinno, if you have been paying attention to the fade the clincher theory that we've been throwing out there here on First Pitch, you've cashed 3 tickets. You've lost 1 of them. My Philadelphia Phillies, the latest entry in, and not only were they were partying like it was 2011, because that was the last time that they've gotten an NL East pennant there. And now I just look at who they're sending to the mound. Is this Tyra Banks that they're sending up there to go against Steele? I mean, this feels like the fade spot of all fade spots, with a Phillies clubhouse that has just got to reek like Keystone Light. Is that the way that we would look in this one? Because even the price is telling you fade the Phillies here today.
I'm surprised you went Keystone Light over either Rolling Rock or Yingling. A curious choice.
Yeah, you're
from
right.
Pennsylvania in there to go Keystone Light.
I guess I've outed myself as a Keystone drinker. Clearly, that's on me.
Your face guy over there.
At least it wasn't that Iron City piss they drink in Pittsburgh.
That's fair.
Oh,
that is fair. That is swill.
Bad beer.
That is sandpaper, and that's what Bryan. That's what Bryan is on.
There you go. Do you get Rolling Rock anymore? I haven't seen Rolling Rock. Is it still being brewed in PA?
The green bottles were elite. I don't know. I mean, I'm in California now, so all I get is hard kombucha. That's all. That's the only options that we have out here is hard. Disgusting. I'm sorry. Yeah, we need the joint to get that down.
What are those liberals doing to you out there? My God,
it's not great. It's not great, Mark. It's
all right. Well,
not great.
Listen, Oh, Gavin, I said what's up. Nonetheless, now that we digress from the clubhouse celebration beers, Tanner Banks, who, if you look, is still wearing a White Sox hat. If you see him
Not
on
great.
ESPN.com, which ought to tell you
Doesn't instill confidence.
Not very good. Yeah, he's not very good. So, if he's been part of the White Sox, guess what? He's not very good. Nonetheless, you're going to get a bullpen game here from the Phillies. Tanner Banks is a reliever. So they're just going to throw arms out there because it's expanded rosters and they don't care. And there's nothing left for them to do at this point in time because, hey, guess what? They've already clinched the division and they're happy as a pig in stink. I do like the spot, though, playing the game after a team clinches because everybody just lets down. The celebration has happened. Even the next day's starting pitcher typically, was celebrating. So, yeah, good spot here to take the Cubs with Justin Steele, who's been pretty good, all things considered. I know Brian Power and I sort of tried to find the spots where Justin Steele would finally get a win. In fact, he's got 5 of them. Nonetheless, he's been really good over his last, couple of outings that he's gone. He's only given up 4 runs over his last, what are we looking at here? About 22 innings. So he's been pretty solid. I'd take the Cubs in this spot and just not look away, not think twice about it, just given the fact that it's a fade spot for the Phillies.
Yeah, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 3-1, it doesn't lie there. The price, it's not awful if you want to be backing. Hey, maybe even look at laying the 1.5, getting an extra little plus money if the team is really just going through the motions there. Bri, for you, man, if you have anything you want to circle back, because I think we kind of hit on it there, but if you'd like to give any thoughts there on that Phils game, since you take meticulous notes on exactly a dozen games, I don't want to short you at all. But I know a game that you guys did talk about on the morning wager was this Red Sox and Blue Jays game. And I know an interesting angle that you had as part of the double play. I believe Zinno was the one that was eyeing that one. But anything for you? Because, you talk about these teams that are clinching. Like the Red Sox, they win last night, but they're pretty much dead, right? If you just look at what they need to happen to make the playoffs, I wouldn't be rushing to bet my Red Sox to make the playoffs here, throw in a late ticket on that, because this is a team that, yes, they have something to play for, but you got to put that in air quotes.
Yeah, so it would be Cubs or pass for me on that game that we just talked about. I would co-sign with what Zinno had to say. And we both liked the Blue Jays in the first 5 in this game against the Red Sox. I talked about it on the Power 5 as well. As a matter of fact, I recorded the Power 5 earlier, and at the time, I was like, well, I'll just lay the half run in the first 5. It's around even money. And the price is surprisingly dropped on Toronto, Dan. And so I would just play for, this was our show best bet. I would just go first 5 money line here with Bowden Francis and the Blue Jays. The Red Sox bullpen is trash, but the Blue Jays is not much better. So let's just hone in on the one thing that we really like, and that is Bowden Francis. Damn, this guy has just been otherworldly down the stretch. 7 consecutive quality starts. During that time, there's been 2 occasions where he took a no-hitter into the 9th inning. He's allowed 5 hits or fewer in 6 of those 7 starts. 4 of the 7 starts, he's gone at least 7 innings and allowed just 1 hit. So, yeah, I think we'd be in good shape backing Francis and Toronto in the first 5. Home team should get a lead off. Brian Bayo was a 5.58 ERA and 8 career starts versus Toronto. So, yeah, Jays early in this one, first 5.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Love the breakdown. That's Brian Power. WT.buzz/BP is where you can find him over at WagerTalk.com. Guys, let's get some best bets, because the games that you guys are hitting on are ones that I know folks want to hear about. So, Zinno, we'll start with you. Let folks know what you have up. Just $5 can get them a play today. That's right. Tuesdays are $5 Tuesdays now at WagerTalk.com. So let the folks know what they can find over at your page for just a link in, and let us know how we're betting this Mets and Bravos game going this evening.
Yeah, I have $5 baseball play, or 4% baseball play, despite the fact that the Astros did not do me good favors last night. Still up over 24 units. Since August 1st in Major League Baseball. So we are continuing to hum along. I also put together, you want to know why, Dan? Because I'm a man of the people, and they expect this from me, good, bad, or indifferent. Another baseball 3-pack up there. Just $19. Why not? Because what the hell? I mean, if my $5 play sucks, you can spend 14 more and watch me get 3 more wrong. So you knock yourself out. But I suggest that if you'd like to do them all, like the price of one regular 4% play would be $25. You can get all 4 plays for $24. I think that's a savings. I believe that is.
No.
I believe that is a savings. And I also believe that the Blue Jays and Red Sox bullpens are a botched nipple ring piercing. That's how bad they are, Brian Power. Anyway,
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, sadly, we all do, and I'm going to go throw up in a cup in a minute. So,
and the viewers now do as well.
Well, I mean, I don't have. It's not often I struggle for words. I was afraid of words, and now I'm afraid.
That's true. We all agree on that.
Well,
you struggling for
after
words
the remarkable
one. I'm like,
after the remarkable sales pitch he gave Bryan, the man does have a way with words. He's Shakespearean. You buy my plays because they suck. It's an interesting tactic, Mark. I mean,
that's what they teach. That's what they teach you in the first day of sports handicapping school. They teach you that at the sales pitch. It's unbelievable.
Zinno, you see one nipple and you lose your mind. What you were going to tell us was a first 5 bet here in the Mets and the Braves game. What are we doing in the first 5? We don't have to worry about the game. So ISO in. ISO in. You can do this.
Why the upside down horseshoe for the nipple ring? Like, just what about I thought it was just a standard post. Like, what are we doing? Anyway. Okay. Here we go. Braves starting Spencer Schwellenbach, pride of the University of Nebraska. Look, he's been really good, really since the All-Star break, July 1st timeframe. He's been really consistent. Hasn't been overpowering in a lot of starts, but he's been just very, very good. You're talking about he's gone at least 5 innings in every single start but one against the Twins, where he lasted 4 2/3 but didn't give up a single run. Struck out 8, a lot of extra pitches, walked 3, a lot of extra pitches. So pitch count got up there, but nonetheless, he didn't give up a single run in that start. So he's going to go 5 here, right? That we know. Only gave up, by the way, hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs since August 1st in any start at all. Only given up more than 3 earned runs once since July 1st. That was all the way back on July 21st. So Schwellenbach's a quality starter. He's got a high K rate, too. You look at his numbers overall. He's got 118 Ks in about 108 innings. So he's done really well for himself this year. I think he could take care of this Mets lineup. Luis Severino is starting for the New York Mets. Surprisingly, Severino's been really good this year, all things considered, considering what he was last year. But this is a Severino that has faced the Mets twice this year, went at least 5 innings in both of them, gave up just 2 runs. Severino also holding opposing hitters to a 190 batting average the first time through the order. So that, by my math, gets us at least through 2, if not 3 innings at a 190 batting average. So he's going to get halfway home, keeping this thing low scoring for the Mets. And the Braves can't hit anyway. Their lineup is suspect at best. Sure, knock yourself out with Whit Merrifield and Gio Urshela and 4 guys who I can't remember because I just don't even know who's starting anymore for the team. So I like first 5 under 4.5 here. As a play. I think it's definitely worth a look here. It's going to be a tight playoff type atmosphere at Truist Park between these two teams. So I would expect defense and pitching to rule the day.
We're looking for the under 4.5 first 5, and you can grab Zinno's winning plays tonight. I'm putting some good juju out there for you, Zinno. $19. Or grab them and fade away. It's your call, but grab them nevertheless.
That's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty
just
of it.
Don't pinch them and twist. Grab them. Don't just pinch and twist.
Exactly. If you the way you can look at it, like sometimes it's worth it. Like there are people I follow online to see what they're picking, so I know I'm not on the same side.
That's very fair. That's what walking bets are all for. All right, Bryan Power, D-backs. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What if I started my own segment, like calling flex bets, and I just did bets while working out in the gym? How do you think that would go over?
I don't think they would do as many numbers, but someone would like them. Someone would like. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. I guarantee you any money, Zinno, Prez would love them. I will guarantee that. I would lay any price that Prez would be commenting on every flex bet video.
It's going to get weird.
I would lay the limit on. Lay the limit on that. Bri, as I said, this is going to be the final time we get the Morning Wager guys on First Pitch because we're done here for the regular season. Friday going to be our last show. You can get the premium client plays throughout the postseason. I think we'll have a deal heading into MLB postseason that we'll share with you. But I think we pretty much guaranteed whether the season was ending or not, this was probably the last time us three were going to do a show together with the decorum we have brought here today. But maybe the show was the friends we made along the way, guys. Maybe that's what we need to dwell on. But your best bet for you, you're taking a look at the D-backs and Giants because apparently nobody told the Giants it doesn't matter for them anymore. It does really matter for the D-backs. You think they punch back a little bit here today, or are you going to attack it maybe a little bit different of a way than just going traditional side?
Yeah, I'm going to go take on an alternate market. I did give out the Giants yesterday on both for the First Pitch. No, I wasn't on that show yesterday, but I did do my own show, Power 5 and the Morning Wager. I did those two shows, so that was a nice fat underdog price on San Fran. If you check those shows out. Before I get to the game, I just want to let everyone know my $5 play is a 4% best bet in college football for Saturday. Last Saturday, obviously won my first 5% max bet of the season. Texas Tech takes care of business against Arizona State. The line moved big on that game before kickoff, Dan. I think the line's going to move on this one as well, so get down today. You can't get that $5 price after midnight tonight. I am number one in football this season, despite a disappointing result Monday with the Bengals, 68% combined NFL and college. So I like Arizona team total over 4.5 for my best bet on the show. Yesterday, my read was about mainly two things. One, I liked the pitching matchup for the Giants. Two, it was a bad spot for Arizona coming off a 7-game road trip where they had a big blown lead on Sunday against Milwaukee. Here, Logan Webb on the mound for San Francisco, but I actually like the pitching matchup less for San Fran today. Why? Webb is not the same guy on the road that he is at home. I bet the over at his last start, okay? Got a little lucky because Baltimore walked it off in the bottom of the ninth with a 2-run homer. But Webb still allowed 3 runs, all in the 4th inning. He now has a 4.36 ERA on the road this season and a 1.46 whip. Those numbers substantially higher than what we see from him at home, 2.83 and 1.03. So Arizona, who leads all of Major League Baseball in runs scored, okay, 5.5 runs per game. That number jumps to 5.7 at home. All we need is an average game from him tonight, Dan, and we're getting a plus price to boot on this team total over 4.5. I like Brandon Pfaadt, but I trust the Diamondbacks bats more tonight than I do Pfaadt. Arizona, team total over 4.5 is my show best bet.
Best bet there for our man, Bri. Love the breakdown. Keep those comments coming, folks. We appreciate you. Hit that like button. And Bri, I was remiss to ask, do you have a terrific pitch that your plays are also going to stink tonight? Or do you have something up for $5 that you're a little more excited about than our man?
I said, yeah, like my only $5 play is that 4% college football best bet for Saturday. I just made that $5.
See, I completely tuned out. Completely tuned out.
Thank you for that, Dan. I picked up on that after you threw that to me. But here's the thing. What I just gave you, that show best bet, that is my only client play in baseball tonight. So you got it for free on the show. That's even cheaper than $5, Dan.
What incredible
$0.
I mean, what an outstanding person Brian Power is. I mean, despite that beautiful smile and that coif of a hair he has, he just has a great heart. And that's something to be marveled at. I will tell you this much, Dan. I am on WagerTalk today. So I will have a different pitch. WagerTalk today, audience. However, I do have to warn you, the lineup is Tokyo Brandon and Adam Trigger. So if you guys can stay awake till about 12:45, you'll finally hear what I have to say. So, oh my God.
So we have Mark Zinno is guest starring. We have Mark Zinno guest starring on War and Peace today, as we're going to have breakdowns from Adam Trigger and Tokyo Brandon coming here. So if you want every blade of grass covered, don't worry. 30 minutes from now, Wager Talk Today coming your way. And we won't even have Teddy to steer the ship because he's got a bad case of the food poisoning. So it's going to be Prez and Prez and more Prez. So sending our best to our friend Teddy Covers. So appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you hang out 30 minutes from now. We got Wager Talk Today coming your way. And Zinno, as he told you, going to have some best bets
coming. Hear me. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So in about 3 days, 3 business days, you'll hear Mark Zinno on Wager Talk.
I tell you what, I'm going to start a timer to see how long each one of them goes. I'm actually going to have a timer.
I like that. And we will. I'll be in the chat and I'll set lines and we'll figure out how we'll get a win or something. Whoever can hit the correct line. So I like that. Zinno and I have a game coming up for you on Wager Talk today. You might win something. Stick around, find out. Best bets for these guys. Again, the Diamondbacks team total over the 4.5 and looking at the under 4.5 in the Mets and the Bravos. Check these guys out at wagertalk.com. We'll be back locked and loaded on a Wednesday edition of First Pitch, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. on the West Coast. Until then, make sure you hit that like button. Enjoy your Rolling Rocks, your Keystone Lights, whatever you're imbibing with. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time here on Wager Talk TV.